quite an introduction. For the past 5 years, I've been running a nonprofit, Community Water Solutions, in rural Ghana. And I love my job. It's a dream. It's something I hope that I'll be doing for the rest of my working life. But it's not easy, and it's definitely not glamorous, and patience is key. Before I started Community Water Solutions, I was an aerospace engineer. And I picked that major when I was applying to college because I liked math, and I did pretty well in physics, and I loved the movie Apollo 13. You know that scene when Ed Harris is in the room with all of the aerospace engineers, and they're trying to figure out how to get the astronauts home from space? I loved that. I thought, that's what engineering is, and that's what I want to do. And so being the typical type A, overachieving, oldest child in my family person that I was, I set a goal and I went for it. Full steam ahead, NASA, here I come. And I worked hard, and I did well, and I was focused. And one of my best friends, Emily, from college, likes to tell this story about how one day we were in the library studying, and there was an earthquake. And when the tremors started, everybody kind of stopped what they were doing and started freaking out, everyone except for me. I had my headphones on, and I was blasting Justin Timberlake, and I was working on a problem set, and I didn't even flinch. I didn't even notice the earthquake. And for me, I think my passion for international development is a lot like that earthquake. I was so focused on this goal that I had arbitrarily set for myself when I was 18 that I almost didn't notice it. I almost didn't feel the tremors. And I think that tends to be a problem with us type A people sometimes. We have a hard time kind of veering off this road that we set for ourselves. Before I had gone to college, I had never left North America. I had never been to a developing country, and I certainly never thought that I would end up living and working in West Africa. But then one day on a whim, I went on a volunteer trip to Nicaragua with some of my friends for spring break. And that's when those tremors really started. But I barely even flinched. I came back to school, I put my headphones back on, I turned Justin Timberlake way up, and I got back to work. But the tectonic plates had shifted, and something had changed. And so by the time graduation rolled around, my passport was filled with stamps. I had been back to Nicaragua 5 times, I went to Cameroon, I joined Engineers Without Borders, and I started learning about the global water crisis. And I was interested, and I was intrigued, and I was excited. And I almost turned off that road to NASA, almost. But then a job that I had lined up in Nicaragua fell through, and so I veered back on track, I put my hands at 10 and 2 on the steering wheel, and I accepted a job at an aerospace engineering firm. But by then, I had truly been shaken. I couldn't really ignore the earthquake anymore, and so after a year of being totally miserable at that job, I got the courage to kind of let go of my 18-year-old self's weird obsession with a Tom Hanks movie and change kind of the course that I was on, even though I wasn't really sure where I was going to end up.